Hello, everybody. A good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you might happen to be. Welcome to Heart of a Hobbit here on the Lotro Twitch stream on twitch.tv/Lotro stream. I am Little Redhead, and I will be your host today at this time for doing some stuff in Middle Earth, doing some stuff here in Lord of the Rings Online. So, just a quick note that the Extra Life campaign is active, and we did a big marathon this past weekend on Saturday, and the SSG goal, which is the bottom one there, is $30,000 to raise for Children's Miracle Network hospitals over in North America, and what was raised was $30,475. So that's pretty exciting. And then I had a personal goal of $750, which was not finished during my stream, but I did not stay up for the entirety of the 17 hours of the of the marathon because I went to bed at like 2 o'clock in the morning. But but we'd been up streaming. We started streaming at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So before and I did, and then we did 2 hours and then handed it off to the next person. So I figured we'd been doing our thing for long enough. I was fine to go to bed. But yes, while I was sleeping, the 750 was finished being raised. Oh, we have a new donation just now for Krishna, Submarinian, I believe is what it is. So I had promised to do Hobbit flips when a donation happened during my stream. So we'll just continue that on for the rest of today. And the reason why that might be exciting for you viewers, not the Hobbit flip per se, although that is exciting, but if you make a donation, anything from $10 forward up to $60, you get to take some picks off of the community loot list that Cordovan has put together. And that you can find in the link that's in the chat there. Before asks, do I want to support any other members of the team? You can adjust the EL stream link. Sure. Yeah, find somebody who hasn't met their goal and let's toss them in there. Why not? So what we can do is we can put like a link directly to their Extra Life page, and then you can donate directly to a person who's still trying to meet their personal goal, if you like. All right. So who are we supporting then? Let me see. Who did you pick? Viasdet. Oh, Red Baron. That was funny. And he is in the UK. So he is also raising probably for the default, which would be Boston Children's Hospital, because that's where SSG is located, is in Boston area. So yeah, he streams generally on Saturdays on this channel. So, okay, so he's at 425 out of 600, so he's almost there. So if you wanted to pick a specific person to support, that is one person that you could choose to support in their personal fundraising goal. But it's pretty awesome that we met the goal as a team, and then I met my personal goal. So thank you to everybody who made donations there. And if you did, make sure you pop into that survey and get some goodies, because Cord is very, and the SSG folks, the Standing Stone team, the folks at Standing Stone are really nice about having some goodies that you can have in-game, some pets, some titles, things like that. Some fun, just fun little additions, which is really nice. Okay, so, but why are we standing around in Bree? Well, that's an eternal question, isn't it, really? Why are we in Bree? I'm not 100% sure why I'm in Bree, actually, but I can tell you that I came up, okay, so, we were all on a bunch of different servers up until kind of recently, right? And then over the summer, they opened up the 64-bit servers, the new ones, and a lot of, and everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people transferred over from the 32-bit servers to the 64-bit servers, which is probably good because as of like the end of August, they closed those 32 bits. So now My original plan at a while ago was to take the characters that I had on Treebeard, because I had a bunch of characters on Treebeard, and just kind of sprinkle them around all the different servers, so that way I had a character on every server, so I could go and attend, if there were music events I wanted to go to, or other, role-playing, fun, social things to do. I could, I would have somebody there. But now that we've kind of condensed into a smaller number of servers, because the way they set it up, they said, hey, we're going to give you like now 2 regular playing servers, and then 1 that's role play encouraged. And they did that for each environment. So there's 3 servers in the North America environment, and then there's 3 servers in the EU environment. So 2 that are the regular playing, and 1 that is role playing encouraged. And so all of us who did role playing stuff basically coalesced ourselves to those role play servers. To Meriadoc that I am on here in the EU side, and then also Peregrine over on the US side. So I kind of have been reformulating my plans for my characters, and I feel like also because they just did this big server thing, a couple of things for me happened. One, I'm not sprinkling my characters around a bunch of servers. They're all consolidated on basically 2 servers now. And then also Treebeard, which was my main server, is no longer exists. They went ahead and closed that as well. Sad for those of us who are on Treebeard. Oh, sad face. Which we are still mourning the loss of our Treebeard, because it was a lovely experience for those of us who were still there. But from a monetary perspective, from a business perspective, sure, whatever, I get it. Just makes me sad because we were really happy there. But anyway, so I'm not focusing any time and attention on Treebeard anymore because it doesn't exist anymore, right? So all my characters are either on Merry or Pippin. So now I'm kind of like refocusing, and like I've set up some characters that are still trying to get the there's that was the difficulty slider that they came up with here. You know what, let's just go take a ride. We're gonna ride our way through a little way through Bree, the lovely hub that is the center of much that happens in Lord of the Rings Online, which is Bree. It's so fun how Bree is always active, even if you're like everybody's asleep and there's not a lot going on, it's in between events or whatever. There's always people coming and going on Bree, which is in Breetown, which is pretty fun. So if you were to find this feller, this hardened traveler, he's doing this hard lean a couple of places around Middle Earth, you'll find him. And so he is here by the Prancing Pony. And when you talk to this guy, you can choose to add some difficulty to your playing. And this was something that they rolled out initially on Shadowfax and Treebeard. And they were kind of testing it there, and it was pretty successful. We were pretty happy with it. They made a few little tweaks here and there, and then this is the version that exists now, and it's been added to all servers. So you can pick this up with any of your characters now. So one interesting thing that happens is if you pick up a difficulty level, if you choose to, make your path harder, and you do that before your character turns level 11, that opens up a couple of deeds for you. And the deeds are basically, they award you with titles. They're not exciting titles necessarily, but, it's another set of deeds. And who am I to say no to getting more deeds completed? So over on Treebeard, because that's where this started, B4 and myself created basically one of every class and got them on this path in order to get those titles. Yeah, and as B4 points out in the chat, the titles themselves are account-wide, so all of my characters have them. So if I were to, I need to go to my character and go to title. So if I look for, here, under deed, We have Apprentice of Arms, Apprentice of Banners, Apprentice of Bows, and so forth. These are those titles, and you get the first one when your character reaches level 50, and you get the second one when your character reaches 130, I believe it is. Now, as long as you don't leave that difficulty path at any time, you have to make sure you stay there. And if you, and there's a place, like you can kind of play around with some of the higher difficulties, but basically you can't drop below a certain level or you are no longer eligible for the deed. There's also a second set of deeds that if you not only just pick up a difficulty level, but if you pick up an even harder difficulty level and then continue on within that harder range, then there's a second set of deeds and thus also titles. So we've got these apprentice titles, and then we've also got disciple titles, and those are the ones for getting to 150. I mean, to getting just to level 50. So I have all of those on all of my characters. So that could be kind of fun. You could be like, you know, disciple of swordplay, and maybe you have a character who's like a swashbuckler of some sort, and so you might want to put that on their title, or maybe apprentice of swordplay, you know. So it could be kind of fun with that sort of thing. So I still have those characters, and those characters, their main job, I basically have said, hey, every character, what is your job? What is your purpose here in Lotro? You are being assigned a reason, something that is your responsibility. So my characters that came over from Treebeard that were already on that path, they are staying on that path, and their job is just get to 130. And we're not questing with them because honestly, I don't know how to play most of these classes. So they're spending a lot of time farming. But now we have access to more farming levels here, Umbar and everything. So it's fine. We're stocking up on a lot of good farming stuff with those guys. Yes, and Senegal does point out to be careful with this landscape difficulty. It's very easy to accidentally turn off the difficulty when turning in the heroic tokens. So what they're talking about here is not only is this the guy where you pick your level, but then these last three things here are tasks. Task, token of heroism, tier 2, and then tier 3. And at the very bottom is where you barter with him. So if you have tokens of heroism that you want to turn into him, you got to go to these tasks way down at the bottom, and then you accept the task, and then it'll pop up to the top, and then you can turn it in. But you can, yeah, absolutely, by mistake, if you're like kind of on autopilot or something, or just like misclick, you could easily click on one of these things, and you're like, oh no, I've chosen the wrong thing. So do be careful. Yeah, yep. Now, and then at the bottom is where you can barter, and as you go up, he has a reputation system, and so as you go up in reputation with him, you then open up the ability to, that's fun, somebody's tooting a horn nearby. That's fun. You can then trade for these epic emotes, as Kathy B is mentioning here about some of the emotes you can get from him. So let's see. So let me step back again because I don't need to interact with him at the moment. So like over in our emotes panel, yes, thank you. We should be able to look up the epic. Yeah, so you've got an epic coin flip where the coin is shiny. Oh, and over your head, I think it shows if you got heads or tails, right? Hero pose epic, you're all sparkly, like there's a big light shining out of you. Epic lecture, I think words and things come sparkling out in front of you. Epic resist, you've got this massive red thing going on. Oh wait, that's the epic succumb. You got a really big stuff coming off there. That one's crazy looking. Epic shiver, you've got the snow and everything falling off of you. Epic salute, your sword goes shiny. And the epic roar, it bursts out of you. So those are kind of fun and entertaining. Also, those tokens of heroism are account-wide for the server that you're on. So you could earn them with one character and then turn them in with a different character. if that was something that you wanted to do. Like if you're out questing, but you're like, this character's done. I don't need any more. I'm good to go. Let's, get somebody else ranked up or something like that. Yeah. So I have those characters that their job is to deal with that system, get me those titles, get me those things, and then I have other characters, and their job is to go to the festivals and participate in the festivals and earn me some legendary item experience, which I cannot show you what the legendary item reward track looks like on this character, because you must reach level 45, I have, and acquire the Seeker of Deep Places characteristic to access the legendary item reward track. So I need to complete Volume 2, Book 1, Chapter 12 to earn the Seeker of Deep Places. So we're going to go work on that. Oh, interesting. Tellurian says the epic coin toss is not consistent in the sense that different people may see different results. Now, that's kind of wild. So the first thing I need to do
How can I be of service?
is I'm pretty sure I got to take off from Southbury here. So, and I hadn't met this guy, so I needed to either pay a mithril coin or just travel down here. And I thought, well, we'll just ride down here. Westbury to Southbury isn't that far. Now, I need to get way out into Eregion because I need to get into Moria. But to get into Moria, you have to make your way first to Ekad-Dunan. And this character, I can almost guarantee you, has never been there. In fact, we can take a look at our stable masters that we are familiar with. And we can look over here at Eregion, and we can see Ekad-Dunan. Nope, I have never been there. So I have to figure out how am I going to get there. Now, I know there's a stable master from Rivendell. Have I been to Rivendell? Rivendell is in the Trollshaws. This character has not been to Rivendell either, so that'll cost me a mithril coin just to get there. However, fun little shortcut, because I am going to probably pay a mithril coin for this. So I'm going to go ahead and, well, the thing is, and Tellurian is suggesting that maybe I do the Gandalf port from the pony. But the problem is I don't need to be in Rivendell, I need to be in Ekad-Dunan. And I don't think you can travel from Rivendell to Ekad-Dunan without paying mithril if you haven't been there also. So I could get to Rivendell, but I don't think that's going to help me, if that makes sense. So yeah, so here's a trick if some of you don't know this. Oh, and I forgot, the goodies that we were giving away during the Extra Life Marathon are over there. But those are, well, you can't buy Lotra points off of the loot list, but a lot of those other things that are listed there, you can get off of the loot list. But we're going to go ahead and put that away. But okay, if you're looking at your stable master, and like I said, I've clicked here on Ekad-Dunan because that's where I'm trying to go. I can see over here on the list right next to me here, where all can you connect directly to there. So for example, it tells me from the Rivendell stables, there's swift travel. There's also travel from Ekad-Eregion, both regular and swift, Ekad-Mirabel, regular and swift, and Ekad-Diarus, regular and swift. But the problem is, if you haven't discovered a stable master, a lot of times you can't get there. There's a couple of them that are open, like Bree, Thorns Hall, stuff like that. But, you know, we could go discover Rivendell just for funsies. Why not? So sure, we'll go try the the Gandalf port. Oh, actually, before it does point out something that I have. Boop, boop, boop. I have a ton of what's called ancient script. I have 32,700 and some out of the cap of 10,000 because when they switched from the old legendary system to the new legendary item system, they let you disenchant your old legendary items, and they let you go over cap for that. But now if I have anything that I want to disenchant for ancient script. It won't let me because it'll say, oh, that's, you can't go over the cap, which makes me a little sad. It looks like, let me get off my mount. So at the place where you spend ancient script to do your traceries, you can buy maps to get you directly to that library. It's called the it's the Tracery Archive. It's also called like the Word Hoard. But amusingly, it looks like I cannot use those maps because I bought a bunch of them. And I can't use them until I have finished Novice Seeker of Deep Places, which is what my intention is to do today. So that's pretty funny. So I guess we're going to go talk to Gandalf and the pony, or we're going to spend a mithril. We'll see what happens. At least it's just one mithril coin to get there. If it was like 5 or something, I'd be annoying. Yes, before it says, ooh, I didn't realize they had a requirement. I didn't either, but now we know. All right. So if this is new to you, here's a fun little trick. So in the Prancing Pony, I haven't done this quest line though. So Gandalf might not be here. Wait, did I just go? I went to the wrong place, didn't I? Oh wait, that says Gandalf's room. Oh yeah, here he is.
Why do you
Cool.
me?
Okay, so once you reach level 20, there's a quest chain that unlocks for you, and it's called The Road to the Lonely Mountain is where it starts. And so basically he's like, hey, go to Rivendell and start this really difficult chain of things. I'm like, cool. So now I have a quest from Gandalf that says go talk to Master Elrond. I am going to cancel that quest. Not that I don't want to talk to Elrond, but let's check that out. Gandalf just sent me directly to Rivendell on his behalf. And now we might just, forget why we're here from a Gandalf perspective. So yeah, as before says, going via Gandalf might make it easier to get back to Rivendell later. So now I've canceled the quest, so I can use the Gandalf port anytime I want. However, I am going to go ahead and say hello to a couple stable masters while I'm here, just to make my life easier for the next time. Yeah. It sounds like Casper agrees. I always forget that there's this skirmish camp here. Yeah. Just hanging out. I wonder if they have anything interesting that they don't have other places. I'm guessing it just kind of gets skipped because you're so close to getting your legendary items by the time you're getting to Rivendell. Because when you get to Rivendell, you're usually like in your level, like late 30s or in your 40s already, level-wise. And you can get your legendaries starting at 45. So, all right.
How can I be of service?
Hail, friend, and well met. Nay, go on.
Oh, yeah. Can you send me there? No, you can't send me there. You're somebody else. Interesting. He stays blue even though I can talk to him.
Hail, friend, and well met.
Now, this
can I
is
be
the
of
guy that I want to send me to Akadunin. And yeah, even though I've met one half, I haven't met the other half. Now, there is hunter travel there. So if I was like, had a friend who's a hunter online, they could just port me over there. But this is fine. I'll just use the mithril. And like I said, it's only cost me 1 mithril. Now, another way I could do this is from that Stable Master map that we were looking at before. So here's Eregion, and it's an undiscovered location, and I could click it from here. Although, I don't know how much it charges me there. And so I'm just going to do it with this guy because I'm standing
What can
right
I
here.
do for you?
Akadunan and Nansirinon. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So, my goal, so I have on this server, I had 2, then I had 3 characters who are in their level, between level 50 and level 60. And that is a sweet place for getting legendary item experience. Okay, so I've arrived here. I'm going to introduce myself to this person because now I can freely get back and forth between these 2 just using in-game money. So that's really handy. I have also discovered Hadunin. Yay. So anyway, I'm working on having more characters that are in that 50 to 60 range and have their legendary items, and then are able to, I'm going to send them through the festivals, because then I can get a lot of legendary item experience with those characters. So, oh, I had another deed. I found the Cyranon Gate. Ta-da! There it is. All right, so there's a few places in Lotro.
lost halls of Khazad-dûm.
And let me step back just a sec here. When you, Casper's upstairs howling. I'm not sure what's going on with him. When you are questing, well, that's before the Shadow prologue, but close enough. You have the epic book chapters that you can quest through, and that takes you through the storyline kind of in parallel to the Fellowship of the Ring. Like you start off, well, you end up coalescing in Bree, regardless of which starting area you come from. So, you know, whether you are a race of man starting in Bree area, or if you're a hobbit starting over in the Shire, or you're an elf, or a dwarf starting over in Ered Luin. Basically, all of these starter prologues, which is what this character started on, was a prologue, get you then eventually coalesced into Bree, and you end up at the Prancing Pony and talking to Strider and Barlow and Bear, you know, Butterbur, and talking to Gandalf, and you know, and so that kind of kicks you off and sets you on the road of this epic book quest series of quests. But to do any one specific chapter, you basically have to do the chapter before that, and then to do that, you have to do the chapter before that, and so you really have to go in order of those chapters and books in order to get somewhere. Well, hey, Pomela, good to see you. Hello. So there's only a couple of places where you can basically, because it's divided into different books. There's only a couple places where you could basically start a new book without having done the previous one. This is one of those spots.
We will reclaim the lost
So with
halls
this
of
guy,
Khazad-dûm.
I can pick up Book 1, Chapter 1, Strangers in Holland, and I think, I'm going to say Holland, because I'm in the Netherlands. Strangers in Holland. We'll see which epic book this is, because I forget. But anyway, so he is saying that what brings you here, there's an expedition of my folk, the dwarf, who have come here seeking our kinsman Balin within the vastness of Khazad-dûm, but and our lords Bozy and Broker have recommended that we accept whatever help is offered, so I guess that means you do, so come on in. Now, we haven't heard from Balin for many years. We may find that the great halls of Khazad-dûm empty or full of danger. Yes, the Holland Gate, a.k.a. Rotterdam. So the first thing I need to do is talk to somebody named Tulk, and they are within these gates. So what's happening here is that I'm out here on landscape, out in Eregion, but as soon as I pass through this gate, I am in, I think it might actually be an instance, could be a shared instance. So I'm within what's called the Walls of Moria, which is basically, Khaddunan is out there behind me. The whole area is out there behind me. And Moria is up ahead of me, over there. Yeah, so over on the other side of all of this is where we're going to find the door, the Durin's door, to get in. So we're going to, and going through this area, accomplishing some quests, and getting to the point where we're trying to get in is part of our quest in order to get our legendary items. So let's go to this that we're working on here. So this is Epic Volume 2. So everything leading up to here was Epic Volume 1, and this is now Epic Volume 2, and this is Book 1. This is the very beginning of that. So, as I mentioned, though, I didn't do any of Volume 1 with my character. This character did not get there at all. She is most definitely here to do these things and
Khazad-dûm
not going
has
to get
long
anywhere
been
else.
lost to us.
All right,
But we
so
will reclaim it.
he says, "Welcome. We followed our lords Bozy and Broger here, and we're going to reclaim the mines of Moria, which have been lost to us for many years. So if you're going to help us, we'd be very grateful. We don't know what we're going to find here."
The spies
So,
of our enemies are everywhere.
Now, he says, "We haven't been here long before it became clear that something is keeping a watchful gaze over here. Crebain have appeared in great numbers, spying on us and troubling the workers. So we don't know what's going on with that. So go take a look at that. And then you can see over in the south of where we are, where the Sirnon once flowed, but it's now dried up. It's just a stream bed. So walk along there, defeat some Craven, and collect some jagged talons." So we're going to pop over there. Now, one of the things, hello, Skagosi, that I need to deal with before we get into combat. So, I may have mentioned that this character hasn't done a lot. She's been farming. But I wanted to get her up to the point where I could take her into Moria and get her legendary items. So if you look at my character, I'm wearing 2 pieces of jewelry, a capstone, like a turtle stone, so I'm not earning any experience. Going to stick here at level 50. And yes. And I'm wearing the gear that I came out of the intro in. That's probably... Oh, and I'm wearing a cosmetic staff, which does 2 damage. Oh, sorry. Well, yeah, about 2 damage. That's probably not going to be very successful in trying to take out these Graben that have almost 600 health points, and I can do 2 damage at a time. We might be here a while. So I got a couple of things I want to accomplish. One of which is, let's see if I've chosen a path with this character. I did. Okay, so I chose the blue line. The blue line, supposedly you get animals. So that's what I want to do. I want animals. You don't get animals in the red line anymore. They redid Lore Master, and honestly, I have not reconfigured my character since they did that. No idea what's going on. So I'm just going to start throwing some points in here because, I don't know. But I do like Bog Guardians. And what is this? New pet spawn with a morale bubble. Oh, that sounds pretty neat. Let's see. Wizard sigil damage. Sounds good. Improve your pet morale. Cool. We'll come back to the eagle in a minute, though. Wild sigil duration. Prepare for war. Tactical damage by your pet. Sounds great, because my pet's probably going to be doing some of the heavy lifting here. Saber-toothed tiger. Sure. Catmint. Healing things. Doing some damage stuff. On enemy defeat, your pet heals. Okay, that sounds great. Unbreakable bond, sure, whatever. Loyalty, when you get a critical hit, your pet will sacrifice 5% of their morale to heal you 5%. That might be useful, since I don't know what I'm doing with a pet. Lore Master, I haven't played Lore Master in a few years. So, we'll see how it goes. You absorb and reflect a percentage of all damage while inducting. That's probably good, because I remember the inductions on this took a long time. I mean, I don't know if that's still the case or not. Murder of crows? Sure. And animal gets stuff. Cool. Yeah, let's go for it. All right, we're going to apply those. So that's going to give me a whole new set of abilities I don't know how to use. Oh, we're not doing anything with these because we haven't earned any of them. All right, that's fine, whatever. And we are really behind on our virtues. No worries. Like I said, this character's main job is to do festivals. But, Oh, nice. I feel like, hey, you wanna group up? Well, we'll see if this... Oh, that makes my life so much easier. Okay, let me pull out an animal so I don't feel like a complete tosser here. Alright, let's bring this guy out. Let's do some damage. Come here, little dude. Bog guy, dude stuff. How make attack? Oh. Oh, right. You can't do that anymore. Yeah, thanks. Okay, I need one more Craven, so let me go make that happen. Here, go attack my thing. You have to indicate there's no auto attack anymore from the by proximity or anything like that. From your pets, I think they took that away a while ago because people were basically going AFK and just letting their pets do all the work. Okay, I guess I can understand that. Let's see. Konju Jitsu asks, are there any festivals going on right now? No, but they are doing a...
The dwarves will prevail.
Let me keep up with my person. Me, Mark, say, thanks for the grouping. I'm a little underpowered. Okay, because what I was going to do is just go and buy some stuff off of the auction house. Oh, I got to go talk to Posey. We went the wrong way. But that's okay. Oh, no, this is the right way. Oh, anyway, so sorry. Yeah, the festival is coming up. They're going to do a redo of the festival.
Thank you for this
all right.
report, and welcome
we brought
to
in the
Holding.
report, and...
The Holding Gate is blocked with rubble, and my dwarves work to
deliver
clear it.
prepared luncheons to dwarf workers. So we'll go do that. Yes, thank you. Before the Spring Festival Encore starts on Thursday. And I think it's going to run through the rest of December, like 3 weeks or something. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, so that'll be nice because then I can run these characters that I'm getting up to level 50 through the festivals and get some more of that legendary item experience before the LI reward track goes away. Palmala asks, why are they doing the Spring Fest? I think because, and this is something that came up in the chat with Hobbits. Oh,
4 of my best
I
dwarves have
don't
gone
want to
missing.
go in there and do that. I don't want to do that.
These halls will be great once more.
I'm just giving out lunches. When Springfest was around this year, was around the same time that there were so many troubles going on with the server transfers and stuff. So, and we've kind of got this gap right now.
May Durin return
where,
soon to his halls.
Between when the new expansion's coming out, and I think, you know, normally they kind of target the new expansion to come out in the fall, and so having it come out like December 3rd is kind of late. And so I think they were looking for something to kind of keep people entertained between, basically November. I think they were looking for, well, what can we give people to do in November? So that's, I think, what the decision was, to give us some more spring. I don't know, maybe it's also because there's so many of those deeds now that are like once a day that you can try out for. That used to be, you know, once an hour. So maybe they're like, let's give people another shot at accomplishing some of those running the festival, you know, like the eating, the races where the dwarves are racing and the hobbits are racing, those. Yeah. So I'm wondering if that's also part of their thinking. Yeah.
The time has come to drive forth the orcs from our kingdom. May
All right, we
Durin
need to talk to
return
War,
soon to his
who's right
halls.
here. So we just gave out some lunches. And he's like, take these broken pickaxes and go repair them, please. Yes, B4 is desperately trying to get that golden egg in the egg scramble, which, again, used to be once per hour that you could go looking for it. And now they changed it a couple years ago now to only once a day. So you gotta try really hard. What is up, buddy? Casper's got a lot to say over there. There you go. Corticus 4 says Spring Festival for people south of the equator. That makes sense, because it would be nice spring weather. Or to taunt people north, yeah. Wait, did I go to the wrong place? Oh, no. He's way over there. That's right. What are you doing? Is the golden egg Earth? No. It is like, I mean, it is egg-shaped. It is very much egg-shaped. We've seen it. Just somebody else got it first. But they were in our kinship, so that was kind of fun. That was good for them. You're welcome. Oh, also, there's like some really cool bonuses going on right now. Give me a second. I'll pull that up. But basically, you know how they normally do, like, you know, this week it's bonus 25%, I don't know, whatever XP, and then bonus this and bonus that. The bonuses they're doing this month are stacking.
We have gone through so many
All right,
pickaxes
he says these
already.
pickaxes are broken, which means that unless we can get replacements to war, all work on excavating the Holland Gate will be suspended. We have to do something about this, and quickly. Oh, this guy's got
We will need both
fighting.
branches and stones to repair these pickaxes.
All right, we gotta go talk to some other people. Help Vori with the task that Bozy gave him, which is this way. Oh yeah, we could go pick up some thick branches, I guess. So we have to pick up thick branches, but then we also need to go talk to somebody. But it looks like this guy's doing the branches first, and yeah, I can stick around for that, I suppose. Usually I go the other way first, talk to the guy, because they overlap a little bit, just a little bit. So I was gonna pop over to Bozy. Hi. What? Tillian says isn't egg scramble a farmer's fair activity? Oh, that's true. Oh yeah, spring is, no, I'm thinking of anniversary. No, spring is the flowers.
Imagine the adventure that awaits us
All
within
right, I gotta collect
Khazad-dûr.
some suitably sharp Aragian stones as well. So let me grab that quest. Oh, I see. Before it's just saying, yeah, it's just another hourly example. Where did my cohort in crime go? He's doing all the heavy lifting for me and attacking everything, so I'm like, maybe I can help. Stick around. Oh yeah, the maze, which I actually can do. I'm capable of that. The maze at Harvest Fest over in Westmead, not good at that one. Oh, is our friend in combat? Yeah, it looks like he's all right. Yeah, so my plan was with this character, just go get like some stuff off of the auction house, in terms of like things to wear, because you know she has no armor, no weapons. It's hilarious. But actually, I could probably keep going with this person for a few more minutes, which is fine, because then after we finish doing our tasks for these guys, and there are some other quests that we can be doing in this area, but I have just kind of skipped them because I really just want to go get her legendary items sorted out. And then we can, I need one more sharp stone. There's a bird over there, and there's a bird over here, but I think the sharp stones are in here somewhere. Oh, yeah, they are. Oh, but now we've got a bird. Yes, attack this thing for me. Cool. Got a new deed started, because I did a thing. Yeah. It's so funny because with spring and anniversary often being so close on the heels of one another, I sometimes forget which is spring and which is anniversary. Like the letters flying around, those are, yeah, see what I mean? They're one of them. Anyway, why spring? I think it's because that's when they were going to open up transfers and stuff. This is what somebody else was saying.
Thank you for
is they think it's because it's when a lot of stuff with the transfers was happening, and so, and they were also, maybe that's when the server stuff was having trouble. Yeah, it's earlier, and I think you're right. The envelopes are anniversary, because that's when that big tent is in town.
As
And that's
always,
anniversary.
you have been a great help to the dwarves.
All right.
Very
You have
good.
my thanks. All the
We
materials
will
have been
start
gathered. My
repairing the
dwarves will begin working
pickaxes
on new
right away.
pickaxes right away. That's a spear. Can't use a spear. I'll take the necklace.
Morty is a good boy and
How
will
about
grow into
I
a
put on
fine
a necklace?
dwarf.
Hey, my armor probably just went up by like 10. Which is more than it was before. Let's see. Talk to Broger. We need to fashion some pickaxes. Yeah, so we're off to go talk to Broger, who's back up along the road again here. So, sneakies! Hiya, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the chat. Just a reminder to everybody that if you are donating to the Extra Life fundraiser, you've got till the end of the month to get your survey and stuff in, and that there will be some extra drawings for more stuff, like Lotra points and the newest expansion and all sorts of stuff going on. So make sure you get your survey into Cord before the end of the month. Okay, so chapter 6, Cousin Broger.
What do you want? Very busy with my work.
What did you say your name was? Monashine? You call that a name? Well, you're going to have to make yourself especially useful if you expect to live that down.
Some madness has taken the wolves of this place.
So, all right, madness has taken the wolves. So we got to go back to the, back to where the riverbed is and go check over on that side because there's something strange going on with the wolves. Is there something strange going on with the cats too, Casper? He's just come on over to lay down. Good job, buddy. All right. Our cohort in crime has moved ahead, but that's okay because I think I have journeyman writing and they don't. Because I seem to be writing a little bit faster than them. So I can catch up pretty quickly. No problemo. Now I'm curious which way they're going. Where are they going? Oh, they're going up there to get that one. Okay. Oh, yeah, I gotta talk to Broin. That's true. Thanks for the reminder. Okay, we also need to go defeat some shadow wargs.
That's what they will call it.
That's so funny. I would have gone straight over to the thing and completely missed the shadow wargs quest. So it's a good thing I'm following this random stranger. Thanks, random stranger. Much appreciated. So basically, we need to get over to the other side of the river here, up onto the banks. Cortico says, does anyone know how long the Extra Life fundraiser goes for? Yeah, so if you want to get in on the extra drawings, that's through the end of November, and he'll pick those at the beginning of December. But you can still donate and get goodies, send your survey off to Cord through the end of the year, he said. So you've got a little bit of time, you know, if you still want to get some of those goodies off of the loot list. It's just that if you want to get in on the extra goodies, that will be through the end of November. Okay. So I checked the wolf corpse. It was burned and charred, and now we need to defeat a couple more of these shadow wargs. That's not one. And I'm not a hunter, so I can't find them by searching, but we can... Oh, yeah, here we go. We got two of them. Sweet. Awesome. Cool. Now we have done our 3 problems. Well, we've defeated 3 things as requested to check out what's going on around here. So now we got to go back to talk to Broin. Oh yeah, and he's up this way. And I have a tendency to just fall off this thing, which is probably not the best way to get back. Whee! There may be safer ways to accomplish this goal. Hey, you're welcome, Corticus. Alright, so I'm just gonna weave my way through these birds because I don't feel like going into combat with all of them. There we go. And we'll go up here and have a chat. Although it looks like our fellow may have picked up one. Oh, I should slow down a little bit. Cool. So I have journeyman riding, which makes my riding at like 78% or something, and by default it's like 62 or 64%. So over time you'll outpace people who are riding at the same as you. They'll just get further and further behind you. All right, victory over the Shadow Wargs. Hopefully I'll have the chance soon to prove myself just like you have. All right, so now we're going to head back to Bozy. I have aided Broyne with his task. So in not too long, they're going to send us off into individual things. So our friendship here will be at its end.
Someone or something.
You found a
has put
burned
the
wolf
fear of
corpse on the
fire
other
in these
side.
wolves.
I don't have an answer to this mystery. But while you're helping my cousin, the new pickaxes were finished. They're very high quality and will surely be of great help at the Holland Gate. Ring or cloak? I'll just take the ring. It's fine.
It is time,
Okay,
friend.
so
Khazad-dûm
now he says,
awaits.
let me know when you're ready. Oh, let's just say thank you. And we shoot at this person. They've responded in Dutch, so I shall respond to... Of course, my character's name is in Dutch, so there is that. Okay, so he says, let me know when you're ready, and we will walk together to the doors of Durin. With these newly repaired pickaxes, our dwarves will soon clear the way into Moria. Now, big red letters, it says here, warning. Once you complete this chapter, the expedition will move into Moria, and any expedition quests that remain in your quest log will be canceled. So all those other quests that I was just passing by and not doing, if I wanted to do those, this is my last chance to do it. So if you have any expedition quests underway, you should complete them now, as those quests will no longer be available after this chapter is completed. I am okay with this. So, Bozy, send us off into Moria.
Of your great skill.
All right, he says, are you ready? Let me know, and we shall walk together to the doors of Durin. So, again, it mentions that the expedition quests that are in this area, they'll no longer be available, so if I want to do those, now's the time. This is also a solo quest, cannot be completed with a fellowship, so that's why I knew that person was going to be taken off. Or maybe I would have been if I'd been faster than
Long have
they were.
Durin's folk desired to look upon the halls
All
of
right,
Moria once
so
again,
yes.
to reclaim their birthright from the goblins and orcs who now dwell there. Has that time now come?
So,
Not even I can foresee
the
that.
narration here is saying, long have Durin's folk desired to look upon the halls of Moria once again, to reclaim their birthright from the goblins and orcs who now dwell there. Has that time now come? Not even I can foresee their fate. All right, Bozy, what up? All right, he says, we'll stop at the outpost here for a moment before continuing on to the gates. We will need to establish a camp once we're inside the mines, and I want to ensure that everything's prepared. You still have the pickaxes? All right, good. Follow me. So now we're going to do some tromping. So he's like, wow, we're not going to need this little outpost anymore. So that'll be nice. So we're over here on our way towards the lake, which is right outside of Durin's door. Hail, my fellows, how goes your work? He says, greetings, Lord Bozy. We've been doing our best to support the effort, but what? It's the wolves. We've heard them howling the past few days, and it is very unnerving. He says it'll take more than wolves to keep us from Khazad-dûm. Khazad-dûm. Oh, here's those bonuses that I was talking about. Let me put that in the chat real quick. 25% skirmish marks, plus 25%. That started last Thursday. And then this Thursday, they're adding a plus 10% virtue XP. And then also the same day, they're adding a plus 25 crafting XP. And then on November 20th, so a week later, they're adding 10% loot box embers and motes. And then the last week from November 26th up until December 1st, these all run through until December 1st, another 25% XP bonus in total. And then, yeah, they're doing a Spring Festival return. It says we're bringing back this year's Spring Festival. Hang on, we got to do some stuff. Starting at 10 a.m. Eastern on November 13th. And that also continues until 3 a.m. on December 1st. So basically, all of November, we have all these, like, bonuses that are just being added on and added on and added on. I think they want to make sure people get as prepared as they want to be in terms of, like, leveling and stuff like that before the new expansion comes out on December 3rd is their target date. It looks like it might actually, might actually work. Oh, cool. I don't know, I'm just clicking things. A murder of crows. Does that actually come down? Where's the crows? Yeah, look at that! Okay, that's kind of cool. Oh, wow, I'm like dying here. But hey, I got out of the way. Oh, noes. Do I have any health potions? Uh-oh. I should grab some of those real fast. All right. This is a great time. Oh, I should put that ring on that I got. That's handy. This might be a good time to grab a few things like, a little max morale. That'll be useful. I'll take some attack. Extra attack, thanks. What else can I throw on here? A tome of defense, that sounds good. Let me get some... Power's probably not going to be a problem, but let's get some morale potions out here. And plus 20% max morale. That sounds good. We'll drop one of those. These are things that I never use, so I'm okay just like throwing them on here. Okay, so now we got to take these pickaxes over to War. Oh, I think we can, yeah, we can mount up. That'll go a little faster. Cool. So, because like I said, I'm not going to be really good at combat right now, so, because I haven't bothered to get any armor. Which I could do right now. I could pop into the auction house, but honestly, all I got to do is survive this encounter and it'll be fine, right? It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Let's see. What does B4 say? It says spring is also one of the 3 or so festivals that reward gold tracery tokens. Maybe that's why they chose it, Pomela. For completing the wrapper. Although, is there enough time to do the wrapper? Somebody do the math. I'm going to talk to War. He's like, all right, these pickaxes are great. This cat is, like, active next to me. It'll be a great asset as we finish unearthing the last of the rubble. Put him in that crate over there next to Broger. Okay. You betcha. All right. Hey, I want to talk to you. Yeah, what's up? Like, these will be a great help even if you took your time bringing them here. Our workers are almost through the rubble already. But don't worry about that. What's done is done. I'm more concerned about this pool. There's something about it I don't like. It makes me feel uneasy. Some of my dwarves have been casting stones in the water, and I'd appreciate if you could get them to stop. It makes me nervous. Tell those fellows not to disturb the water. Yeah, let's go talk to these guys throwing stones into the water. Hey, don't do that. Neat dune. All right, he's like, I didn't mean any harm. I'll leave the water alone. Yeah. To tell you the truth, this pool makes me nervous too. I will leave it alone. All right, and Bori. All right, he says, I'm sorry, I'm just bored while I was waiting around. All right, back to Broger. Oh, fantastic. Thank you before. So, he's pointing out that the wrapper for the Spring Festival will take 12 days, and we're getting 18 days in this redo. So we have enough time so people could stock up on those gold tokens, which would also possibly be nice for people who are leveling up with the expansion. All right, he says, very good. I appreciate your help. I understand that many of my dwarves are restless, but there's just something about that water I don't like. I will be relieved when the workers have finished removing the rubble from in front of the gate and we can leave this unpleasant shore. And now we're waiting for Bosie, who has arrived. Hi, Bosie. How goes the work? We've been a great help to us in our work here in Holland, Mannesheim, and I know that you'll be a great boon once we are inside Casa Doom proper. You can see the lake behind me. That's kind of cool. He says, I would be honored if you would bear a pickaxe and help us clear away the remainder of this rubble that blocks the doors of Durin. It's a historic opportunity, friend Lore Master, and it is my joy to offer it to you in return for the many services that you have given us already. I am at your service and your families. Take this pickaxe and clear some of the rubble from the gate. Rubble. Sneaky says, I got what I wanted from the Harvest Fest, but I still did them, so I got as many tokens as I could. Then I'll exchange them for the next Fest coins to get stuffs. Yep, that is the way. Okay, now he wants to tell us a story. He's like, my friends and kinsmen, we have dreamt of the great halls of Casa Doom for many long years. Tonight they will be ours again. He's like, wait, what is it? Is something wrong? What is it? You say you saw something stir in the water. What was it? I don't see anything. Are you sure you didn't imagine it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure, dude. We're gonna... Yeah, stay on your guard. Yeah. He says, do you see anything? All right, I have given the command to mount up while I am standing here. There we go. Because he sees nothing. However, we are being seen. The water looks so still, and yet foreshadowing. I'm on my mount. I'm ready to go. Guess it was nothing. Let us enter the mines. Although my thing says, remain on your guard. Rejoice, dwarves of my company. Casa Doom awaits. Dun, dun, dun. Oh no! Brian, my son! Yeah, I'm out. Return to the small outpost and get help. There's a reason why I mounted up. Get as far as I can before I get knocked off my mount. We are running. I wonder how I dismiss my pet. So I want to make sure it's not trying to engage in combat over there. Alright. Now might be a great time to take a potion, just in case it gets any more swipes at me. But I think I'm out of its range now. So you stay in combat for a lot of this run. As you can see, as I'm running with my staff, I am in combat, technically. It's pretty flowers, though. And then somewhere around this range is where you finally get out of combat, although if my pet is still back there engaging in combat, it might just... Yeah, I gotta remember how to dismiss my pets now. I don't remember how to do that anymore. That's okay. It'll eventually figure it out. So usually somewhere back there you're able to like get mounted back up and make your way over here. But all right, he says, what's happening? We heard shouting. Were you beset by some enemy? You could say so. Yeah. He's like, one enemy or many? We do not know. So he's like, all right. Did you see how the flesh of that creature deflected our blows? We need more than ordinary weapons if we want to stand against the Watcher of the Black Pool. It waited in the depths, watching as we strove to open the doors and struck just as we were most vulnerable. Curse its foul hide for taking Broin and many other fine dwarves beside. They will be avenged, but for now we must retreat. We cannot hope to enter the doors while it lurks before them. So we are going to retreat with our survivors, and we'll return to get our vengeance. Yes. Have you considered a more legendary weapon? Says before. Indeed. All right,
can we
so
hope to
he says,
stand
we're in full
against that
retreat.
monster?
The beast of the pool is too much for our meager weapons. If only we had some relic of the old days, we might stand a chance against the creature. The weapons of our fathers were a stronger and keener make, their craft forgotten. Today's forge skill is lesser. A cache of weapons was discovered in one of the caves here, near here shortly after we arrived. Perhaps one of those will stand worthy as a bane to this monster. And they're going to give me a robe. That's what I want to take. So let's
Perhaps there is still hope.
increase my armor. Let's see, what's my armor currently at? My armor is currently at 14. Wow, my armor's at 134. Good job. What is my regular streaming channel? Asks Rylar. It's my name, Little Redhead. Here, I have a, there's a way to do streamer, I think. That's me. Although I have to say, I am rarely streaming on that channel these days. I just, yeah. So I'm on here every Tuesday. So once a week, I'm already here. And then through the week, I have other stuff going on. And so while I consider streaming, and once in a while I do, I'm really bad about it over on my channel. So I do play other games aside from Lotro. I just don't stream them very often. But sometimes so I started a Planet Crafter game that I was just doing on stream, so you could see like the whole progression on stream. And then I kind of paused on that. I haven't gotten back to it in a while, but I might go back to that sometime because I do love that game. But I usually end up just playing it and not streaming it. But you are absolutely welcome to, you know, pop over there and check stuff. The other thing is I have a YouTube channel, and so any videos that I do cross-post them over onto my YouTube channel. And that includes the streams here and any other streams and like how-to videos about Lotro stuff. Those are also over on the YouTube. So we could pull that up before. Do you want to grab that? Sorry, a little slurp there. So that might be a place where you can see, and then they're all in playlists too, which is, you know, kind of handy. All right, so now we're up to chapter 9, A Weapon of the Elder Days. And he says, we dare not approach our old camp until we find some way to defeat the creature in the black pool. So he's like, I can't let you in. But a number of our dwarves of the expedition are resting at Ekadun behind me. So speak to Hyundai. He was instrumental in uncovering the cache of weapons that we were talking about. So let's go take a look. Let's see how it's going over there. Yeah, honestly, the sad thing of it is that streaming kind of takes a little bit out of me, and so I find that I can't just do it as often as I wouldn't mind doing it. But yeah, it's just I need a cache of energy, as it were, in order to do this, and I can make it happen on Tuesdays. I can, you know, I just kind of prepare for it. But I don't have a lot of other days where I have a chunk of time where I can be like, okay, I'm going to do these things and prepare, etc. Aww, so you're a pretty good Lotro streamer. Well, thank you. Well, you know, I try to think of it in the sense that, like, there's a lot of information in Lotro, and there's a lot of stuff that you can know. However, it's nearly impossible for any one person to know everything about Lotro, from, you know, how to do a particular quest or which quests come in what order, or, you know, all the quests at a festival, which I am reasonably well versed on, but sometimes I forget things. Also, over in, excuse me, let me grab a cough drop. In your options menu, there's a ton of things that you can do. So there's different ways to affect your UI, like I've done, where I've got all this, you know, cute stuff on there. There's ways to change the graphics. There's like, I've got a lot of social options that I've adjusted to work for me. Like, there's so many different things you can do in the game. And so it's so funny because sometimes you'll have somebody be like, oh man, I really wish we could do X, Y, or Z in Lotro. And people be like, hey, it's your lucky day, because guess what? You can. So that's kind of fun. So I figure, like, I try to approach my streams that I don't try to assume that people know what I'm doing or what's going on. And I'm trying to be open to somebody saying, wait a minute. What was that you just were doing over there? You know? And that way it keeps it at a baseline, so it's accessible to everybody, but yet there's enough stuff going on that if this is something familiar then you're like, oh yeah, I know how this works. But it's still, hopefully entertaining. What was it? I was gonna Redhead YouTube. Oops. Here. Is that it? YouTube. Yeah. Oh wait, no, that's not it. Oh no, it's Life Beyond the Shire. Burp, burp, burp. There it is. So that is my YouTube page where all the videos from the streams and all the helpful YouTube how to do videos, we put those into playlists, and yeah, so all of that good stuff is there. So because I know Twitch can be a little twitchy in terms of finding things. It can be a little complicated to find where something is in the Twitch, if you're looking for a particular stream or whatnot. And plus with the YouTube, I can put a little bit more information in the doobly-doo, and that makes it kind of nice to be like, hey, here's what happened. Now, I did early on put timestamps in the stream videos. I'd go back and be like, here's what we did at this time, here's at this time. I don't do that anymore. And I used to spend a lot of time fixing the closed captions, so the undertitling, words in English, forget. But anyway, the words, yeah, closed captioning. But I don't do that anymore either. So hopefully what comes across automatically is reasonably sufficient for those with, bad hearing or whatnot. And the class, I used to have the closed captioning going on here, but they just updated OBS, and so the plugin that ran that no longer works, which is unfortunate. So we haven't found a new one yet, but hopefully in the future there'll be a new closed captioning widget or some plugin, something that we can use here. Hi, I've got a Cateau considering laying down here next to me. So we got Cateau on this side, we've got Casper on this side. Hi. Do you want to get on my lap, or do you want to be next to my lap? Yeah, I thought you might want to come up. You had that look about you. Yeah. She was sleeping on the couch, and I kind of came and wanted the spot that she had. To be fair, it's the where I had been previously, but then she kind of took it over when I wasn't there. It's very cute. Okay, so he says, yeah, that other dwarf guy is right. Without a truly magnificent weapon forged in the ways of old, we cannot hope to do so much as score the flesh of that ancient creature. But legends of the past sometimes turn up when least expected. My friends and I found a cache of ancient weapons not long after the Iron Garrison came to this place. Select one of these weapons, and it may be that your choice will help us clear the way into Moria of that terrible creature. Oh, Pamela asked, did you used to have a kitty cam, or I'm misremembering? No, I did. I did used to have a kitty cam going. For a while, Miss Cateau here was sleeping in a little round basket. We call it a basket. It's not technically a basket. It's just a round thing with a pillow in the middle, a cat bed. And she was sleeping in her little cat bed, and it was next to my desk. And so we had the camera facing there. And so then when she was there, she would end up on stream, which was lovely. But then she stopped sleeping in it. And then I rearranged my desk, and then it moved, and so forth. So the cat cam has not been reconstructed yet, but we were discussing this again recently. So it may come back, and especially now that the cats tend to kind of yeah, exactly what before says. They stopped sleeping in such predictable locations. They became unpredictable in their sleeping locations, which made it harder to be like, well, I can't change the camera every day because it's got to be connected to my computer. but they are being a little bit more predictable again. So we might be able to come up with some cat cam. Yeah, like before says, maybe as we move back into winter. Because I got Casper again next to me. And Kato is often next to me, if he's not. So we could do maybe a cat cam here. Another option is the, so the basket now lives next to B4's desk, and she sleeps in it all the time again. Although not during stream. So I guess that would not be a good place for the camera to go. Yeah, maybe we could get one just facing the other side of the couch here and just kind of, shine it down. So, I will work, we'll try to put that, make that more of a priority then. I'm not impervious to requests. Okay, so, yes, so they found some ancient weapons and so he wants me to take this weapon and take the tracery, which is this little round thing here, to engrave upon my weapon. And he knows someone who can help me understand this business.
Speak with me a moment?
So, weapons like this have a long and storied history. Its tale grows ever with the felling of evil foes. The more servants of evil this weapon cuts down, the more deadly it becomes. Only a skillful few can read the tale of a weapon from its craftsmanship. So I refer you to one who can further aid you, the elf Dithalion by the forges in Rivendell. He is wise and learned in many things, including the study of ancient weapons. And if he can't help you, he'll surely know somebody else who can describe the lineage and powers of the weapon in a weapon of this artistry. Yeah. Pamela says, I remember now, you called it the Nitty Kitty Cam because sometimes you would share your knitted and crochet works with the extra camera too. Or just on the main camera. I do still have works in progress. In fact, I have one on my desk right now. Let me see if I can get out from under the cat. I'm working on a sweater. You might recognize this. I've been working on it for a few years now. For the summertime, when the temperature kind of drops and you just want like a light layer to toss over your t-shirt or whatever you're wearing. So it has made much progress. Oh, you're fine, baby. You don't have to get up. Okay. So yeah, we've made a lot of progress on the shirt, and now I'm starting to work on the sleeves. So that's as far as we've gotten so far, but it's coming together. So yes, yay, summer sweater. So once I do the sleeves, so I got one started and then I'll come back and do the other one. I know it could be cute as a t-shirt, but I do really want it with long sleeves. So I'm gonna finish the sleeves and then I'll check how the bottom is, if I want it any longer or not. And then you go back and do the neck, and then it'll be done after I weave in all the extra ends. So yeah. Pamela says, I love the pattern, the varying widths for the stripes. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's in the pattern. And that's something I really liked about this pattern too. So you've got your main color, which I'm using this color changing. And then you've got your contrast color, which is what I'm doing, the solid green for the stripes. And yeah, the stripes, the contrast color gets wider and wider. The stripes get wider and wider as you go. And then the main color stripes get smaller and smaller as you go. So you end up with the same width for the stripe in total between the contrast color and the main color. But it's just how it's distributed changes. That's fun. So I'm really enjoying that, and the yarn I'm playing with has been fun with that too. It's taking me a while, and at one point I had to put it in timeout because there were problems, and I was not accomplishing the issues that needed to be accomplished in order to make it finished. All right, so I need to go back to Rivendell. And thankfully this person knows how to get me back there, which was another reason why going to Rivendell before we came here was actually a good idea as well, because I'm going to have to go to Rivendell for this, so it's fine. Yeah, before it says, it does make you wonder about the weapon. Once you have a weapon powerful enough to cut through the hide of the Watcher, why doesn't it feel more powerful against a random wolf? Well, if we're just talking about the hide, then maybe there's your answer. Maybe it's because it's really good at cutting through hide, which getting through the hide of a wolf is pretty easy in general. Like most weapons will go through the hide of a wolf. Doesn't make the wolf like explode or something. I don't know. Okay, so this is the fellow we need to talk to.
My heart cannot
Now,
sing today.
he says, you've come a long way. What business could bring a valiant lore master such as yourself here to the forges of Rivendell? And he looks at the weapon, and he grows still, his eyes wide in wonderment. Well, this is a relic of the Elder Days, my friend. Such a weapon has an unmatched potential to grow in power, its storied legend growing along with your own. So this is kind of like a nod to the fact that once you get the weapon, it's what's called a socketed weapon. It has open slots in it where you can go and acquire things, traceries in this case, that you then put into those sockets, and then they can affect the kind of damage and how much damage the weapon does. And they try to give you some information here that legendary weapons can be enhanced in a number of ways as you adventure in Middle-earth. Their base stats can increase along with yours as you level. They can be slotted with a wide assortment of traceries, as we just mentioned, and these traceries can be further enhanced by runes. Technically not perfectly true. The slot that the tracery goes into can be enhanced by the runes, but close enough. We're learning. It's okay. One of these days, Before and I might put together a video on legendary items because I feel like this is slightly confusing. But okay, so I have this weapon. He's looking at it. I'm not putting it on yet.
A shadow
So,
is on my
he says,
spirits.
I see you've been given some traceries. You should apply one of them to your weapon to further customize its abilities. Once you've done so, speak to me again. And then he tells us there are a variety of traceries that can be added to your legendary item. There are heraldries, word of power, word of mastery, and word of craft. Those are 4 categories. The 4 categories for the traceries that go onto your legendary item. However, on your legendary item itself, the slots where you put things are one of those 4 categories. So you can't take something from one of the other categories to put it into that spot. It is only for those specific categories. It's very category specific, the slots are. Yeah, what was that? I don't know, there was a noise. Okay. And now, we don't actually have to put that tracery in here in order to continue working on this quest. So, I'm going to let my legendary just kind of hang out there for a minute while we continue with the stuff here. And he's like, hey, good job. Inscribing traceries onto your weapon will enhance your skills and will often help turn the tide of battle. Now, this weapon is still not strong enough to defeat the Watcher in the water, but it might become so. I will tell you how this may come to pass. So I'm going to finish. He wants me to finish this quest, and he wants me to take one of these heraldries to also put onto my weapon. The tracery, these different traceries. This is the, and it tells you right there if you might not be able to see it's tiny words, but right there. Okay, it says bind to account on acquire, item level 51, and then underneath that it says socket type heraldic tracery. So this is something that is going to go onto my weapon in the spot that's for the heraldic traceries, of which there is only 1 spot on your weapon for such a thing. So I want to pick the tracery that's going to best match what my character needs. For example, this top one is about might and vitality and physical mastery, agility, vitality, physical mastery, and so forth. So if I go to my character, I should be able to see, let's see, let's go to might. Might increases your tactical mastery, critical rating, finesse, and parry. Sounds like a lot. That might be a good category to think about. Agility increases your tactical mastery, critical rating, finesse, and evade. So might and agility might be my 2 big ones here. Before he uses heraldry of the goose, scares all enemies away. Let's see, vitality increases my morale and morale regen, so that might not be something that's as strong of an option under lore masters. Will increases my tactical mastery, critical rating, physical mitigation, tactical mitigation, resistance, and evade. Wow, sounds like will is like probably the top thing that I should be seeking out when it comes to a lore master. And then Fate increases my max power and out of combat power regen. All right, so that one's not as, as interesting to me. So it sounds like Will, and it's either Might or Agility is probably the other really important things for me as a lore master. So let's see what they have that has Will as one of the things. So, nope. Okay, so the Eagle one has Will and Vitality. Now, you can also go to some place like Lotro HQ, and they'll often have people who have already spent a lot of time being like, hey, these are things that are really important for this, style of character, so you're going to want X, Y, or Z. So it sounds like Will, Vitality, and Tactical Mastery. This is probably the one. So Eagle, we'll just take that one. As far as I'm concerned, there's no wrong answers, right? Everything is fine. Some things are going to be better or make you a bit more effective. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's you play however you want to play. Okay. Forged anew. This ancient weapon can be reforged at the hands of a forge master, allowing its power to increase to match the skill of its wielder. Once reforged, it may possess the strength to face the creature that lurks within the black pool. You should bring it to the forge master for reforging, and mayhap your newly refurbished blade will at last best the flesh of the cruel watcher. Take this weapon to Snar, who I believe is standing right next to him, and he shall reforge it anew, and then perhaps we shall see its true potential. So then they mention in the red letters under here, as your character level increases, your weapon may be brought to a forge master to be reforged. Reforging your weapon increases its power and may unlock additional tracery slots. So yes, we would like to do that. So so I've still got my legendary items in my inventory here. I haven't actually put it on my body yet. That's okay. All right, so we're going to talk to this Forge Master. And he says, well, that is quite a weapon you have found. If you wish to reforge it and increase its potential, speak to me again, and I will see that it is done. But know this, friend, the true strength of this weapon will come from the one who wields it. I believe you now have what you need to best the foes that stand arrayed against you. All right, so I want to finish this quest here.
Grey is the shadow.
So he's like, all right, now you understand your weapon's potential? Yes, it can now bear heraldry. You must return to Holland at once and show Rathwald, the dwarf at the crumbling arch near Ekadnunen, that you wield a great weapon. Surely it will give the dwarves of his company newfound hope. Go at once, friend. I deem that weapon has come forth from the very fibers of legend for this purpose. Okay, so now I'm ready to go back, but I actually do want to, engage with my weapon. So it does say on it, ready to reforge. So I'm going to equip this little darling. So now my character is a lot stronger already just from putting that on. You can go to the Forge Master and it'll tell you the weapon that it's looking at, saying, hey, you want me to reforge this? And you could rename it. So I could be I don't know, Swishy, what's a staff? Swishy staff. Or I could be just use the default name, which was Lore Master Staff of Legends. It's going to cost me 626 silver and 88 copper to reforge it. But, let's see. Hang on a second before I do that. If I look at it before I reforge it, it looks like this. And it has...
3 whole spots.
3 whole spots. 2 word of mastery and 1 word of craft. All right, so let's reforge it and see if anything changes.
Well met.
All right, so I got swishy staff with a C on the end because I was typing there. All right, so we're going to reforge it. Kabam! All tracery slots can be upgraded to level 52. 1 new slots have been unlocked. Yay! And now I have no other item available to reforge. Most characters end up with 2 legendary items, and so usually when you go to reforge, you end up reforging both of them at the same time. But in this case, I only have 1, because that's where we are. So now, if I look at it, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. Yay! Now I'm going to go ahead and apply some of these traceries, because, yeah, I want some I want some extra help. So you'll notice here it says Heraldic Tracery. These two say Word of Mastery. This one says Word of Craft. And right now it's giving me plus 1.32 tactical damage rating. Okay. So once I'm going to click and drag this over here, and you'll see that this one is sparkling. Hopefully you can see that on the screen. That is showing me that this is where it can go. It can't go here. This isn't sparkling. This one isn't sparkling. Nope, down here. But this one here on top, yep, I can absolutely put it there. It's like, are you sure? I guess I'm sure. So now it's given me some bonuses here. I've got plus 15 will, plus 8 vitality, plus 73 tactical mastery rating. Now, if I wanted to apply some of those runes that it was talking about, that would increase what's going on over here. Right now, this thing is at level, the slot is at level 51 out of 52. I could take some of those rune things and apply it to that slot and take it up to 52, but that's the max it can go to right now. So that's what this little thing here is, this enhancement rune. I could apply that to there if I wanted to. There's 4 different kinds of these, and they're of different levels by how much they will increase that spot. So this is an enhancement rune plus 1, so it will increase it by 1. There's a plus 2, a plus 3, and a plus 4. So, you know, those are handy to have. Now, I also got from these guys this Burning Embers damage tracery, and it says that it can go into a socket type of Word of Mastery. I do plus 27% Burning Embers damage, plus 36 tactical mastery rating. This thing itself is a level 51. So that's why, so for example, here, this Word of Mastery slot, right now, it is at level 45 out of 52. But I bring this little thing in here, and I say, yes, I would like it to be added. It automatically bumped it up to the level of the tracery. So I didn't have to spend any of those runes to get this to 51. The tracery automatically did it for me. So that's kind of handy. And then I've got 2 more open spots that I don't have anything for right now. I could go to Rivendell and get some stuff. I could go into my shared storage, where I've probably got a crap ton of stuff. Actually, I do. So maybe I do want to just go ahead and let's see. Let me grab a couple purple. Let me grab a purple here. So this is a sealed tracery. So it's a tracery. It's in a box. Don't know what it is. I'm going to open it up and be surprised. It's a test of will cooldown. I don't know what that means. Let's open another one. This one's a Burning Embers critical chance and a multiplier. Well, that seems pretty cool. I've got a Burning Embers damage. I might as well get out a critical chance and multiplier on it. Now notice my 2 spots here that are sparkling. It's because what I'm holding is a Word of Mastery. I could overwrite this other one and it would just go away. But I've got another open spot, so I'm just going to put it in the open spot because that seems like a better idea. So now the only spot I have empty is my Word of Craft, and when you open up these traceries that are in a box, you don't know what you're going to get. It could be, I think it could be any of the 4 categories, but it's most likely to be the stuff that matches you, the Word of Mastery. So I'm a lore master. I'm opening these up. It's opening them up and giving me lore master stuff. So if I continue to open these, it's going to keep giving me lore master stuff, which is why these boxes are sitting here unopened. Now also notice that I can't use the map to get to the Tracery Archive just yet because I haven't finished Novice Seeker of Deep Places. I'm in the middle of that questing. So I'm not even going to go and try and muck about with this. I'm going to go back and keep working on my quest chain, and then we'll deal with those empty spots. But already my weapon's looking a lot better. So I got to get back over to the walls of Moria and talk to that dwarf and show him my fancy new weapon. And we'll see what we can do over there. Hey, I'm wondering too, no, I think I got both land-based guys. Because I got the Wait, which did I get the raven? No, that's friend. No, I can't. Oh no, the raven specializes in buffing and debuffing. That's not what I want. I want attack. Friend of sturdy bear summons a bear companion. Or friend of the wild's bog guardian. Oh, you know, he's got ranged attack. Yeah. Okay, we'll plan to just bring out the bog guardian again when we are dealing with this thing. Okay, so send us back
What can I
these.
do for you?
Let's see what we can do. Here we go. Goose. Summon goose. That would be funny. All right. Well, I'm really glad that they give us swift travel between here and Rivendell. There is also a milestone here. So if you're ever doing this as a hunter, you can go and get the hunter travel skill for here, which is super handy, and I definitely recommend that. If you're not using hunter travel, you can use the stable masters. But also, you could pop yourself back and forth by using this milestone and just set yourself to that milestone. So you've got some options for getting here. It is basically a hub of sorts, so it is handy to be able to get back in. Oh, wait. Yeah, this guy I need to talk to. Okay. Hey, I got stuff. He says, welcome back. Did that weapon of the elder days prove worthwhile, or was it a fruitless chase? His eyes widen in surprise. This weapon has become even more powerful in your hands. Surely now we have the strength to stand against the horror in that fetid pool.
We will reclaim the lost halls of Khazad-dûm.
All right, he says, this weapon may be what we need to drive off the Watcher in the water and allow the dwarves to enter Moria. Speak to me when you're ready, and I'll bring you to Bosie and Roger. They'll be pleased to see that there's hope again at last. So, after we finish this, which is the Watcher in the water, that will give us Seeker of Deep Places, the characteristic that we've been trying to get. I will get a title of the same, and I'll get another tracery, which is kind of fun. Get some legendary experience, and then a hat.
I hope you know what you're doing.
All right, another solo quest.
Dire
It's basically
is the
that
creature
we're,
called the
finishing
Watcher
the
in the
solo quest.
water by the dwarves, an ancient evil called forth by
This
the
is the
Dark
foul creature
Lord.
that watches from within the depths of the
through the
pool.
power of legend,
Will feel the
a
sharp
way
bite
can be
of
seen
your
past
weapon and
the
be
terror.
afraid. Stride forth and teach it a lesson. It will be long in forgetting. Do not do this just for the sake of Khazad-dûm, but for the memory of Broin, taken by that fell creature. My nephew deserved a better fate than to die in that thing's grasp. When you have driven off or slain the creature, we will be unopposed and may walk into Moria unhindered. One of my dwarves has gone ahead to scout for the beast. Look for him and be watchful. Okay. I think I want to go ahead and call out my bog guardian. Hi. All right, let's go do it. So, and we're just looking for these guys. They're just right around the corner. So that was the little outpost that we ran to. And then the door itself is like across over there. But we're pausing here because we got, we're sticking by the outpost.
The time has come
All right,
to
he
drive
says
forth
there's ripples
orcs
in the
from our
water, but I
kingdom.
don't see the beast. Be on your guard, for it may attack without warning, as unlucky Broin learned at his peril. So, oh, there it is. And yeah, let's do some burning embers. That seems to be something I'm good at. I seem to remember that there was like a combo of things that I could do. So at some point, I'm gonna remember how to do that again. Oh, I have a staff strike. Oh, dismiss pet. I don't want to push that by mistake. I'm gonna do that with purpose. It turns out that the true legendary weapon is the friends they made along the way, says before. Indeed. Hey, Bug Guardian, attack and stuff. You can, I know you can. There you go. Ooh, cracked earth. I remember that one was good. I like that one. Wonder how cracked the earth gets around these guys, though. New deed, harmony with nature. Yeah, a lot of these. Briefly protect you while damaging enemies who attack you. Oh, nice. That's a give me energy kind of, or give me health. Hey, how do we do? He's all right. I'll no longer cow to my grief. Nay, I will avenge my son in battle, and woe to this creature that took him from me. All right. Show yourself, monster. Do you think it's going? There's a garrison guard down in the water. That's hilarious. What are you doing down there? Alright, let's see how we can do about this guy. Oh, nope, we got more. Whoa! Free transit. Well, I don't see you as much on Fridays. Unless you're there under a different name. Alright, another fallen comrade avenged. Man, these guys are just standing in the water. You're funny. Alright, he says, I cannot thank you enough for this. Not only have you driven off the beast that kept us out of Moria, but you avenged my son. I will never forget your great service to me, and will always be in your debt and at your service. Okay, so, and then Bozy. We have done it. We have driven the Watcher from the doors of Durin, and now the dwarves of our expedition may pass into the mines of Moria. The weapons we found have proven the difference. Yes, my dwarves have equipped themselves from the same cache, and the creature has learned to fear the sharp bite of the iron garrison. You have avenged my nephew Broin as well, and all of the dwarves who have been lost to this creature. It retreats now through dark passages. May its writhing, reeking arms never trouble us again. Okay. We must now return to tell the rest of the expedition what you've accomplished, and that we may now pass into the mines of Moria. So I believe... Oh, yeah, not yet. But we're going to get a little cutscene that we get in, so that's kind of cool. Pamela says, I'm at work on Fridays. Darn PST time zone. Yeah, that is a shame.
Perhaps there is
Now, I've been
still
doing
hope.
some stuff on other days.
Perhaps there
Mainly
is
like
still hope.
Wednesdays in the evening, you probably at work, or Sunday afternoon, which would be your morning. You know, if you ever get a chance to join. Hey, I got a hat. Awesome. And they gave me a tracery. Contains a tracery that can be engraved. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, let's take a look. It is a beacon of hope. Heal. Not as likely to use that, but that's okay. All right. He says, Tolk is waiting to speak with you just inside the doors of Durin. He is pleased that you proved such a boon to the expedition and will be delighted to speak with you again. So I do want to go and speak to this guy, even though I believe I have achieved... yeah, so now I actually have that Seeker of Deep Places, which is the thing that I need in order to go to Rivendell's Word Hoard and also to activate this reward track. Now, there's this little, I don't know if it's a glitch, but basically I can't see the reward track even though I am technically earning on it now. But I do want to go and take care of this quest because talking to Tolk will give me a second legendary item, and I want that. So give me
And
one
so
for
it
free.
was that the Iron Garrison passed
Oh,
the
you're off
doors
this
of
week, so you
Durin
might show
and
up.
entered the
Awesome.
dark of Moria.
Oh my gosh.
But they were
I'm
not
not
the
gonna be there
first to
Friday.
brave the mines. Nor will they be
We
the
have
last.
a board gaming thing that we're going to be doing. So I will not be actually involved in this Friday. We finally have time to come out there. What a shame. Now, just take a computer with me. No, that's okay. Now these cutscenes, you have the ability to come back and rewatch them from like, I think the login screen. Yeah, from the character selection screen. I believe you can go there. Also, if you're ever at a point where you don't want to watch these, I believe you could hit escape and it just skips it. So sometimes, like, B4 and I are playing together in the same room, and we get to the cutscene at the same time, and one of us will let it play so we can hear it and watch it, but the other, you know, the stereo, it doesn't usually come in at the same time, so we'll just, like, skip. One person will skip. Yeah, you'll get this weird echo. The mines of Moria, mines of Moria, mines of Moria. It's like, okay, whoa, no. We don't need that no more. Okay, so now I'm in front of the door that we did manage to open. The black pool is behind us. All of that expedition area that we did is all out here. So now we're going to pop inside and say hello. That's true. Before it says once in a while it syncs up perfectly. And then we get just fun surround sound. But that does not happen as often as one would hope. So I'm going to go ahead and... Hey, I've discovered Durin's Threshold. I want to talk to this stable master.
A house of
So at least I
glory will
have
live forever.
Durin's Threshold as a stable now unlocked. Now the person I need to talk to is this guy.
Khazad-dûm
And
awaits.
so you'll see, I don't know if you can tell, but a lot of these have red outlines. And that's because there's different weapons for the different classes. So you have like a Bjorning's Carving, Brawler Stein, and so forth. So whatever item or items your character's class, whatever you can use, will be not in red for you. So there's a Lore Master's book, and I would like to have that.
The dwarves
Now,
will
he's got
prevail.
another quest for me if I want to take it, which is I could go up and talk to people and do some various questing and things like that. But I think at this point, I have accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. I have also completed book 1 of the Mines of Moria out of 6. That's okay. All right, so I have a second legendary item now, which is this Lore Master's book. Sure, I'll go ahead and put that on. And then I would like to go to Rivendell, and we're going to add a few things to this. So I'm going to snag one of these maps. Oh, and you know, all of those combat buffs that I put on, I can go ahead and pop those back into my shared storage. Don't need to be carrying those around. Yeah, we'll get rid of the morale potions. I'm not likely to use them. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and use my map to the Tracery Archive. Don't think there's anything else I need to do here. Hopefully I'm not wrong. And then we'll just kind of finish up by doing a little bit of adding things to my legendary items here. And then I will probably call that a day, because then she is set up and ready to go. I mean, I just like having the legendary items set up so that way I don't have to think about it. She's not likely to get into much combat during festivals, except in the Haunted Burrow. But in general, it's just nice to go ahead and have it done. Then I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to be like, oh, I should go on to Rivendell and take care of that. I'll just do it now. But yeah, so now she is added to my collection of folks who will be running festivals. And then I have 2 more hobbits that we're working on getting them caught up as well. So then I will have 6, 3 of whom are hobbits on this server to be doing festivals. So that'll be great. So one of the things, a couple things when you pop in here, I'll just point out a few things. So we came in this door over here. And when you first come in, when you come into this first room, there's 2 rooms here. All these bookshelves are the traceries that are specific to your class. So I would find, so like the hunter traceries are up there. I come in for as a hunter most often. What am I again? I'm a lore master. So my lore master traceries are over here on the top shelf. So you just click on the bookshelf and it opens up all the stuff. And then they're categorized by level. So right now, so these are minimum level 45, maximum level 95. And then the next group, and so anyway, so here, maybe this is the easier way to do it. If you do the drop down, it shows you like level 50, all of those, and then level 86 and all of those. And that's basically like, what level does your legendary item need to be in order to grab one of these traceries? So if I were to look at like the level 86 traceries, it's going to be like minimum level 86 for my weapon. My weapon is not that high. My weapon is level 50. But remember, we got a second weapon. It hasn't been reforged yet. So I can actually come over here and talk to this elf lady. Yeah, let me zoom in a little bit. This elf lady standing here behind the desk. And I can talk to her, and I can, one of the things I can do is barter items. So if, for some reason, if you want to switch to a different weapon, now lore masters only have these 2 choices. I got a staff and I got a book. But like hunters, you've got a few more options. You can use an axe, you can use a club, you can use a dagger or a hammer or a mace or a spear or a sword for one of them. And then for your other one, you could use either a crossbow or a bow. And they have slightly different stats, so there might be a reason why you might choose one over the other. Or maybe you just like the look of something better. You know, you're like, hey, I'd rather be using a mace than a spear. I don't know. You know, for whatever reason, you might want to make a different choice. So if, what some people do, like Before does, as a minstrel, is sometimes he will have a set of legendary items. So he'll have his songbook, and then he'll have like a sword, mace, dagger, or club. And then he might have one set for when he's doing healing, and then another set for when he's in DPS mode. And then he might apply different legendary traceries to each one of these, so it has, you know, different abilities. So if you find yourself in a situation where you want to get different legendary items, this is the person to talk to. You can also buy from her a tracery reclamation scroll. So basically, if like maybe you've put a tracery on your weapon and you're like, man, that's a really good tracery and I would love to use that. You know, I may have outgrown it with this character, but I'd love to have that on another character. Because there's 4 levels of traceries themselves. A lot of the stuff with these legendary items, it's in 4s. There's 4 levels of traceries. There's 4 levels of enhancement runes and so forth. So, yeah, maybe you've got like the top level of a particular tracer and you're like, that's the perfect thing. I'd love to have it on another character. You can use this reclamation scroll to take it off of the previous weapon and then put it back into your inventory, and then you could apply it to another, you know, another weapon. You can also buy from her these maps to get to this archive like I just used. You can buy some tracery tokens from her, and then, which is the thing I'll show you in a second. And then you can also buy these enhancement runes, the +1s, not the 2s, 3s, or 4s. But you can buy the enhancement runes at the different levels, of which currently the level for where your legendary item advances, when you get to level 50, that's where things are happening. And then you get to 86, you can switch out things. 101, and then after that it basically is every 10, although from 101 it does go to 106 and then 116. So from 106 it's every 10. So, or no, sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 10. Let's just go with that. So 106 to 116, and then 121, 131, 141. So I'm expecting with the new expansion we're going to get a 151 of level of enhancement runes. So you have to be minimum level 151 in order to use them. Because some of these things will run out of date. So basically, like, let me look at my weapon. Did I put the other weapon on? Wait a minute. Yeah. It was a staff and a book, right? Oh, there's the book. Okay. What am I trying to look at? Oh, I was trying to look at the traceries. So like this heraldry of the eagle that we picked up earlier, excuse me, it says minimum level 45, maximum level 95. So if this character were to get up to level 95, 96, whatever, and then I reforged my legendary item is now level 96 also. And the traceries only goes up to 95. So then it gets a little red box around it, and it's no longer in play. It's still there, it's still socketed, but it's like it's muted, it's dead, it doesn't do anything. It is ineffective. So that's something that's also worth keeping an eye on. Okay, the other thing you can do with her is, yes, open a legendary item forge. So I have a book. I don't know, what should we call this? Written stuff. So there we go. I'm going to call it written stuff just to be silly. All right, so there we go. Boom. And I have all tracery slots have been upgraded to level 52, and 1 new slot was unlocked. So that's neat. And there's no other items for me to reforge. So now both of my legendary items are ready to go. Word hoard. That would have been funny actually for the book. So then I can do a handful of things. If I want to add some more traceries to this that are Lore Master specific, I come over to the Lore Master bookcase, and let me, just to make this, that didn't narrow it down very obviously. I want to just give you a small subset. Here we go. Here's a perfect example. Word hamster. Hoarding. To hamster is to hoard in Dutch, so it's funny. Like, remember how I said there's 4 levels of traceries? These are the 4. So the bottom one is like a yellow. That's what that color is supposed to be, is yellow. And it only, it'll cost you 100 ancient script to purchase it. And if you want to disenchant it, because you can disenchant these things when you're done with them, if you have them like in your inventory and you're like, ugh, I don't need these anymore. And you know, you can't, well, I guess you could sell them for like 6 silver, but you could also disenchant it for ancient script. These disenchant for 20 ancient script. So if you see something that's 20, you know that's the worst. Then the next one is purple. They disenchant for 40. You're like, aha, not so bad. So the first one costs 100. The second one costs 300. The next one, the third level up, is this cyan blue color. And that one, and each one of these, the skill gets a little better. So here it's like 24% healing, 96 outgoing healing. This one is 27 and 96. This one is 30 and 96. And then this one is 33 and 96. So it gets a little bit better, you know, as you go up. But the second, the second from the top and the top ones, they require a cracked tracery or a shattered tracery. So you have to not only spend the ancient script, so in this case 600, but you also have to have one of these shattered traceries to also be able to buy one of these things. So that's why it's important to kind of keep an eye out for those. And so that's why, for example, with the spring festival coming back, you can get some of the gold ones, which are these top tier. You'll be able to get some of those and thereby be able to get the best traceries for your legendaries. So that's, you know, something to think about. So the 2 bucks Shakora says hello. Hello to you as well. Yeah, so I just have a couple of, you know, things on my weapons, a couple spots that, oops, not control, we want to do shift. If you do shift and double click, it opens it up for you. But I got a word of craft here that's empty. And I expect that I have the same thing over here, word of craft. So it would be nice to pick up a couple word of craft items. And those are in this second room. And this is where you find the things that everybody uses, which are those heraldic traceries, which go at the top. The word of craft ones we were just looking at. And then eventually you open word of power also. So those are 3 more categories that are going to go onto your legendary weapons. Well, I think that's about it for me. So I am going to pass the streaming torch over to B4, who is coming up after me. So thanks for coming along for Heart of a Hobbit. Stick around for Plugging Along, which is B4 stream, where he's going to be talking to you about Lotra plugins, and he'll be doing some plugin development here on stream. What are you working on today?
The bonus item toolkit thing reminder.
Oh,
I still don't have a good name.
nice. So here's what he's going to work on. So I have this toolkit here. This is a universal toolkit, but there's some other toolkits that are like super fancy, like a Fateful toolkit or a Gundabad toolkit. Or no, it wasn't Gundabad, it was another one. But anyway, because it's Fate of Gundabad. So the Fateful toolkit. And there's the Flowing Silverstone. So these are fancy things that you might have acquired in various places, usually with expansions. And they're handy to have. And so sometimes if you might be somebody who plays a lot of other characters, perhaps you like put it in your shared storage and then the next character who comes on takes it out of the shared storage and uses it. But you maybe forget to do that. And boy, wouldn't it be nice to have a little reminder of some sort that pops up to say, hey, don't forget to where that is and so forth. So B4 is working on a plugin that will just pop up and remind you and help you out with that. Okay, so Extra Life still happening. Thank you for everybody who helped me get to my goal. That's fantastic. Thanks for everybody who helped SSG get to their team goal in total. Thank you for that. That was awesome also. If you have done so or do so in the future, donate. Make sure you fill in your survey wherever the chat is for you. If you do it before the end of November, you get into those extra drawings that Cord will be pulling. But definitely get it in before the end of the year because he tries to close it out at the end of every year. And I think that covers most of it. Festival kicks off again on Thursday, Spring Festival rerun. So some fun time for some extra Spring Festival time. And lots of bonuses happening. All right, it's busy time in Lotro, which is kind of wild, which is kind of like a downtime, but now they've added a whole bunch of stuff, so I think that's kind of fun. All right, I will see you next week. We'll be doing some Spring Festival together, and I'll see you in the chat in a few minutes during Before It's Plugging Along. All right, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.